You know what I hate? I hate whiners, you know? I hate people who just complain. I had a guy in a joint one time, cell next to me, and he used to yap about everything. He used to yap about the food, and yap about the guards, and yap about this, and yap about that, and yap all night long. Fucking yap. Like a fucking 747, you know what I mean? Like an engine stuck right between your ears, and you can't get away from it because he's right next to you, you know what I mean?
It means that we punched our ticket to go try to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like goody sweet. Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime.
Welcome to the Reese T. Bills Mafia pregame show. I'm your host, Tommy, and joining me later will be King Aramis and 40 Keys. Right now, they are doing their podcast because it's a normal day for post-podium. On Mondays, they go live. So they're going live over there for about an hour, and then they will join me on the second hour of this pregame show. What up, Mike? How you doing, brother? Give me 1 second. Let me get some music in the background. All right. We're here, man. We are here. Week 6. Buffalo Bills traveling to Atlanta to take on the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. Monday night, right before the bye week, by the way. We need this win. We have to, guys. We got to get this win. Because going into the bye week with 2 straight losses would be bad. It would not be a good thing. And there will be a lot of talk during those 2 weeks till we play again. So we need this win coming off a loss. And the Patriots are right on our tail. We do not want the Patriots thinking they have a chance or a shot at the AFC East this year, right? Let's get back into winning mode. Tonight's the night. Tonight is the night. Though we are going against a very good defense. Matter of fact, they are the number 1 defense through 5 weeks, sorry. So let's see what we could do against that defense. It's not going to be an easy one against that defense, but we need to get things right tonight. And it starts with honestly, it starts with the receiver room, in my opinion. They need to show me much better tonight than they did last weekend against the Patriots. Let's get to some of your guys' comments real quick. You know how I like to get the comments real quick. Go Bills, says Christopher. Yes, go Bills. Michael, kickoff 7:15. So kickoff is at 7:15. There's 2 Monday night games going on tonight. We are the early one. So we're at 7 o'clock tonight. And the other game is the Bears and Commanders. They start at 8:15. So we are the early one tonight. 7:15. I will be, the pregame show will be off by about 7 o'clock, 7:05. This way we can all get in our lazy boys or couches or wherever, whatever you do. I don't know if you guys stay on the whole game, whatever you're doing. You have time to go and kick back, get a beer, get a drink, and enjoy some Buffalo Bills football. Let's see here. No, it's 7:15. 7:15 Eastern time. So I don't know what time zone you're on, but it's 7:15. What's good? What up, Beth? How you doing? Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for a win. What's the injury report look like? And we'll get to that in a minute. And I'm here. I'm pretty sure Jordan Poyer got called up for this game. So that is an interesting thing to look out for. But I don't think the inactives are out yet. I haven't seen any update on my end. So as soon as it comes in, I will let you guys know. Danny Dimes, what's going on? What up? What up? Run Cookie. Yeah, so look, man. We got to get James Cook going, obviously, in this game. Though I got to say, we did try last week. New England was a good run defense. So they had a game plan versus us, which was to control our run game, control James Cook, and really, honestly, too, control Josh Allen. Right? I thought they did a good job last week at containing both Josh Allen and James Cook for the most part. And they played physical man and dared us to beat them through the air, and we could not beat them through the air. It's just a simple fact. Now, Dalton Kincaid, he had a good game. Obviously, that was his best game I've seen in a while for Dalton Kincaid. But the rest of the receivers were atrocious. We need to get better. We need to get better in that room if we want a legitimate shot at a Super Bowl. You guys saw what last night, right? The Kansas City Chiefs. Now, mind you, the Detroit Lions were beat up on defense. On a lot of corners were out, right? But it don't matter, right? I don't. To me, that don't mean shit. Kansas City Chiefs right now are loading up. They got a lot of talent as far as receivers goes, as far as speed goes. They got Rice coming back off the suspension. So, listen, man, they are trending in the right direction. That is a team that we know all too well. And, they got playmakers, I'm not saying they're, unbelievable, awesome receivers, but for that offense, for Andy Reid's style of play, that they fit perfect, right? They got a lot of speed, man, and a lot of guys that come up clutch when they need. So, and then not to mention Travis Kelce too, right? You can't forget about him. So we need to get better. There's just no other ways around it, guys. Kansas City's starting to load up. And the only way for us to finally get past that hurdle is for us to load up. And the trade deadline's coming up. And that's where Brandon Beane needs to stop sitting on his hands and understand that other teams are going to be loading up as well. Teams that have a chance at a Super Bowl run. And if he doesn't make any type of move and when I say make a move, I'm talking about make a move that's impactful. Or make moves that's impactful, then this team's going to be stuck in the mud in the playoffs yet again. I mean, it's just, I don't want to be that guy, but, let's be honest, guys. Calabria's Falcons got the number one defense. We about to get our asses handed to us. Nah, Callie. By the way, Callie, how you doing, brother? I don't know if I talked to you on yesterday's stream when I was live, but hope all is well there. And Callie, look, man, I don't think we're going to get our asses handed to us. We're a good football team. And I agree with you. Falcons do got the number one defense, obviously, through 5 weeks. But they've also had some games where they didn't look too hot themselves. This isn't a Falcons team that's just unbeatable, right? They lost, I believe, 40-0 to the Carolina Panthers. I mean, one of the worst teams in the NFL, right? They give up, I'm sorry, not 40-0, 30-0. I apologize. They gave up 30 points and they got nothing. And they also lost to Tampa Bay in the first week of the season, 23-20 at home. So, look, they had a good win last week versus Washington, but they're beatable. They're definitely beatable. Their quarterback makes mistakes. Yes, their defense is good, but we can figure that part out. I'm not super concerned as long as we do our job and we don't turn the damn ball over, right? But this game is going to be telling. I will say that, Callie. You are right in a way that, win or lose, I want to see much better effort from our offense tonight, especially that wide receiver room. But if we win, it's an ugly win, and those receivers are still struggling to get open. Allen's still kind of struggling to find receivers to throw the ball to. Then, yeah, we have to figure out a way to either make a trade or do something. And then obviously CB2 is a major issue right now. Trey White is not the answer, guys. He is not the answer. Got a super chat here. Adam Sheffer reported that Ryan King might apply down platinum. Dish show up on Josh Allen's and James Cook's knees tonight. By the way, let me hit that with the Bills train horn real quick. Give me 1 second. You know how I do. Every super chat gets the Bills train horn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And let me put this music back on for me. All right. Let's get back to some of y'all comments here. Robert Wilson, it's up to the defense, tackling and Brady running the ball with power. Yeah. Look, man, I just want to see better tonight. I want to see a better performance by the offense. I thought the defense last week, for the most part, did a pretty good job. Okay. They held the Patriots to 6 points in the first half. I mean, that's, come on, guys. We should have been winning in the first half. We should have had way more than 3 measly points at the half. And I knew the second half, if the offense didn't get going, the defense was eventually going to crack. They're not the type of defense that's going to continue to hold. And that's exactly what you saw last week, right? They eventually cracked, gave up some points, and the offense just couldn't get things going. And when they finally got something kind of going, it was too late. And the defense could not hold. So I don't want to see that tonight. I need to see better play from the offense. I need to see these players that we signed in the offseason. I'm talking about the Palmers. I'm talking about the Moores. And then I'm also going to bring up Coleman, the second-year player. I need to see more. Right? I get that it's everybody eats. I understand that we're not throwing to one particular guy. We're not throwing a lot. Listen, I don't want to hear that bullshit excuse. To me, that's just, you're just masking the problem. And the problem is guys aren't getting open, right? These are facts. And look, don't bring me no, gradings and all that crap. I know what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing guys that aren't either on the same page as Allen, or they're not creating early separation early in their routes. It's a problem. And then obviously CB2 is a major problem. Right? Trey White clearly is not the guy. It's for CB2. And we knew this going into the season. Now, I don't think they thought that Harrison would get hurt in the offseason at camp, but your other option was Trey White going into the season. So it just, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Cali Blitz, Trey White sucks balls. I don't understand why we keep getting these old washed up players. Because it's what we do, Callie. It's what we do. We like these 1 year aging vets. Now, mind, look, I will say this, Callie. There are some vets out there that still can ball, right? But yet we don't go for those guys. We go for former players that played here before, or Carolina guys. And a lot of time these guys have nothing left in the tank, or they're totally washed. So that I don't understand either. If you're going to sign a veteran, sign a guy that has something left in the tank, right? Campbell, right? Calais Campbell, right? He's a vet, but I would sign him in a heartbeat. But do we? No, right? We go and get Jordan Phillips, who, by the way, I like Jordan Phillips, but come on. What's he going to bring, right? You saw what he brought. He had his opportunity a couple games. He didn't bring much. And I like the guy. I do. But I also like winning games. And I also like, the thought of us winning a Super Bowl one day, and those guys aren't going to cut it. I mean, it's just reality. Kansas City Chiefs has too much speed for the Bills secondary. Absolutely, Robert. And maybe they're hoping that Harrison gets healthy towards the tail end of the season, and that he can get caught up with the playbook, and maybe he can have some kind of impact. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's missed way too much time for him to just jump in and be effective. You get what I'm saying? We'll see. But maybe, like I said, Robert, maybe, just maybe, Brandon Beane understands this. He gets off his ass and he gets on the phone and makes some deals. Get some deals done. It's not going to cut it, right? Trey White's not going to cut it. He's not the answer. And until they realize that, then we got a problem. And I'm assuming they do, because if we all see it, guys that are getting paid, Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, and staff, should see it very well. I think the Falcons are small in defense. Yeah, they're a little small, but look, man, they're a fast defense. They're aggressive defense. They got some good corners. They're number one in the league right now through 5 weeks, going on 6. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tonight. But they got a tough task against Josh Allen. Anytime you face Josh Allen, I don't care what your defense is ranked. It's a tough task. Let's see, Callie, if we don't blow out the Falcons tonight to show that we are capable of doing, our schedule looks nasty coming up. Yeah, we got some tough games coming up, Callie, but they are at home, which is what benefits us. The Kansas City game is going to be tough. We know this. The Week 17 Philly matchup, I don't know. Philly's playing a little... Philly's not playing too great either right now, Callie. So Week 17, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Philly gets their act together by then, and we can have a different conversation. But as we speak right now, they're not threatening. They're not a threatening team. Like they don't. That doesn't look like a game where I'm like, uh-oh, right? Like, so I would say right now the uh-oh game would probably be that Chiefs game at home. The way they're starting to ramp up, and them getting back Rashee Rice, yeah, they could be a team that can go on a winning streak. So we got to watch them. Outside of that, Cincinnati Bengals are terrible, right? That was a game that we all thought, could be a game we could potentially lose. But look, Burrow won't be available. He may not even return this season. They got Flacco now as a quarterback. You saw what happened yesterday. They still lost even with Flacco, right? Come on, like Flacco's not going to save their season. So they don't worry me either. Let's see who else we got on the schedule. I'm just going to be honest. Like I said, now look, any given Sunday, right? I get that too, right? But if we're talking about who on the remaining of the schedule that teams that could potentially get in our way or create a loss here. We got Carolina after the bye week. Come on, we should beat Carolina, even though it's at Carolina. They're a bad football team. Home against the Chiefs, that's the game I would say is going to be really, really close. That could be a toss-up. We'll see. But we normally play them well in the regular season. So if there's one thing going for us is we play them well in the regular season. I mean, even in the playoffs, we give them a good fight. But we end up on the losing end in the playoffs. At Miami's a dumpster fire, guys. They're in a lot of trouble. I mean, they need to they need to blow everything up. It's a mess. Home against Tampa. That's a tough game. I'm not gonna lie. Tampa Bay is going to be an interesting game, but we should win. But that's not a pushover team. Okay, so I'll say right there, Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Okay, at Houston, I know they play us tough, but I'm not really concerned about Houston. At Pittsburgh, once again, another team that just doesn't concern me. Home against the Bengals right now. I just talked about that. Burrow being out, that's, there should be no reason why we lose that game. At New England, I think we make up for the loss in that week. And by then, hopefully, and that's week 15, we have everything, we're clicking, meaning everything's on track by then, right? And then we were at Cleveland. I know they play tough at times, but we should win. And then you got home against Philly. We'll know by then where Philly stands as far as, what's going on there, because they got some problems there right now as well. And then we're home against the Jets. So, yeah, there's a couple games there, but outside of that, guys, a lot of winnable games. Now, if we go and lose to the Falcons and we lose to the Panthers, there's some real fucking problems, okay? I mean, honestly, if we lose tonight, there's some things we gotta really talk about with this team, because that you can't lose this game. You can't lose 2 in a row. I mean, you can. It doesn't mean we're out of it, guys. But and by the way, we've lost 2 in a row before. We've been down that road before, but it's just not. It's not a good thing, right? You do not want to lose 2 in a row going into the bye. You want to have some kind of positive note going into the bye. So we'll see what happens tonight. But I feel like we should win. Mike, fuck Bean gonna be calling Fred tomorrow. I like Bean. I'm still cool with Bean. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm probably one of few people right now that's still okay with Brandon Bean. I'm just not a McDermott guy. But I will say this: he's made some mistakes for sure. And for as much as I like the guy and I think he's a good GM, I also think there's a lot of flaws in him as a GM that he needs to correct. Right. Some of the decisions he's made is not all on him. It's more on McDermott and what he wants on this team, what fits his scheme. So I'm not going to totally blame Brandon Bean for some of the players that we brung in or we drafted. But still, you're the GM. It does come down to you and your decisions and what you want to do. Trades being made, free agents, signings. These are all things that at the end of the day, he has the final word, decision on. And he's made some poor decisions, no doubt about it. He's also made some good ones. We can't totally shit on Brandon Bean. That's why I keep saying right now, I still like the guy. I still think he's a good GM, but he needs to start doing something, man. We're in year nine. So, when we talk about window closing, look, the truth of the matter is the window will never officially close until Josh Allen is no longer the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. However, that doesn't mean the window won't be starting to close, starting to halfway close or beginning that process of closing, getting halfway closed, because you got to remember there's other teams, right, that are getting better in the AFC. New England Patriots is one of them, right? And there's other teams that are getting, key free agents or getting good draft picks. So eventually these teams are going to come back and battle us, right? It's not going to be just about Bills, Chiefs, right? So we need to start getting things done before it gets to the point where we got other contenders that are just as good or not better than us, and then we got problems, right? No matter, even if we have Josh Allen. So they got to figure that shit out, right? And there's going to come a time where you have to be all in, right? And that's where I think they need to start really thinking about that. Cali, Tampa Bay, Miami played us hard. So does the Pats, Chiefs, Eagles. See, I don't. Cali, the Miami. Listen, right now Miami's a hot mess, bro. By the time we play Miami again, who knows what's going on in Miami, Cali, right? By that time, more than likely, if you're paying attention to Miami right now, they are a disaster. I mean, like you got the quarterback calling players out. You got the coach, who's, I don't know, high as hell when he goes to interviews. They got problems. They got major problems in Miami. I do not see us. And obviously they lost Tyreek Hill, which is a major weapon for them. They're losing to bad teams. We're not a bad team, Cali. For as much as I know you're not happy right now with the product that you're seeing on the field, we're a much better team than Miami Dolphins. The game may be close. Maybe you're right? It is in Miami, but we're the better team, and we should win that one. I'm not really concerned about that game. Tampa Bay, I'll give you that. It's at home, right? And, I'll take Josh over Baker, right? But, hey, you never know, right? They are a good team. We'll see what happens by then. And then, obviously, the Chiefs, and like I said about the Eagles is week 17. We got a while to go. We don't know yet what the Eagles are going to be about in week 17. They're having their own problems, right? See, we only concentrate on our team, right? For the most part, right? And of course I hear or I'll see other teams, what's going on, but I'm not diving deep, obviously, into their problems. But I promise you that Philly fans are not happy right now, and they're probably talking worse than Bills Mafia fans are about their team right now and the shit that's going on there. And Look at the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, my God, right? 1-5. The Chiefs fans right now, they were probably talking that mess, that oh my God. And now they're probably on the other, just like Patriots fans, right? The Patriots lost to the Raiders, they lost to Pittsburgh, right? But now they're feeling good about themselves, right? They beat a top team like us and the Bills. They won against the Saints. It's 2 in a row now, right? So there's certain fan bases that I'm sure right now are talking good, and there's certain fan bases right now that are just like Bills Mafia, and they're in that stage where, shit's not going good, right? So we're not alone in this. So we just got to correct shit. We know what we're about. We know what this team is capable of. We do. Let's not totally shit on the Bills, right? We've been down this road before. Plenty of times, guys. Plenty of times. Come on. Now, this is not a bad team. However, with that being said, my whole thing about this team is the playoffs, because I know we're a good regular season team. I know we could turn things around and we can get it right. My problem is what you see now. Can you fix that? And because you need to by the time you get to the playoffs. If these problems aren't fixed now, then like I said, these problems can get us to the playoffs, but these problems won't get us to a Super Bowl, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's really up. Like I said, it's really up to Brandon Beane, and honestly, too, it's up to some of the players, right, that are playing not so hot. Let's be real. There's a lot of players that aren't playing good right now that aren't living up to their contract. If we're going to be real. We are 15-4 after loss. Yeah. So, like I said, guys, come on. If you guys have been following this team a while now, you know the whole deal. All right. We don't, we normally bounce back, after a loss or two. It's just what we do. See, Robert, Tommy, Bean was seen at the NFL retirement home talking to Josh Norman, some other player. Hey, don't even bring up Josh Norman. I do not want to see that dude here. Time to score is going to be 35-21. Okay. I think I had it at, God, I think I went under 30 this game. I don't remember what I said. I think I said, or did I go 30? I don't remember. I'm going to have to think about the score prediction again, because I think initially on Friday Night Lights, I think I went like 26-16 or something like that. So, which I may stick with. That's actually a good score. Tom is flying real fast. It is, Callie. It is, dude. Year 9. And Callie, my dude, you've been watching me really since what, 2020 when I started this channel? I mean, guys, for those who don't know, Callie Blitz used to go by a different name, I think Jack or something like that. But this dude's been following me for a long time on this channel. So shout out to Callie Blitz, man. He's been rocking with this channel for a long time. So, Callie, since you've been rocking with me a long time, how this goes, and how a regular season goes, and the ups and downs, and us being upset and mad for a couple weeks, and then we go on a 7-game winning streak, and we're back to being happy Bills Mafia, and then we're right back to the off season, and we're talking about what we need to get to the Super Bowl. It's just like, dude, I feel like it's Groundhog Day with this. We'll call it Groundhog Season with the Buffalo Bills. Groundhog Season. It's like the same story, right? Bills win the AFC East. Bills get, Bills lose in the division round, or Bills lose to the Chiefs in the championship game. It's just like, oh, man. Come on, man. We got to get to a Super Bowl, man. Let's see here. I'm sorry. Cecil, wish Bean would have drafted Xavier Watts. We could have used them. Yeah. I mean, I wish Bean did a few things differently through the draft. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I like the guy, but there's definitely some things he fucked up on, no doubt. But I think a lot of GMs are make mistakes, right? They fuck up at times. It's just how it works, guys. You think Dawson Knox might be on the trading block? No. I think Dawson Knox is a Buffalo Bill for life. I hate to say it. And I like the guy. I take that back. I don't hate to say it. But look, man, he's Josh's best friend, it seems like. And he already took a pay cut. It wouldn't shock me if he took another one. I just think, this is a place that he likes to be, that he wants to be. I think it's a place that Josh Allen, wants him here. Josh Allen's going to have a little bit of a say on that. And he's not terrible, right? He's just, we need to probably rework his contract again, right? Because he's just not worth, obviously, what we're paying him, even with the cut. But I like him. I think I'll be honest with you. I think, Josh still feels a little bit more comfortable going to Knox over Kincaid. But last week, that was a good start for Allen and Kincaid, building more of a chemistry and the trust. And so we'll see if that continues. That's what we wanted to see from Kincaid when we drafted him. Games like that, right? More consistency, right? And that's my problem with Kincaid. He's just not consistent. Because we've seen Kincaid have some games, his rookie year where, we were like, oh, man, right? And then the second year, we all were like, okay, this guy's about to have this great season. And really, he had a flop, right? Flop of a season. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see if this guy, we'll see if Kincaid can, get a little momentum from that game and build off it. And Allen maybe go to him a little bit more, start trusting him a little bit more in the offense. Maybe Joe Brady dials it up a little bit more for him. You guys got to remember too, man, when I talk about the receiver room, and really when I talk about anything that has to do with the offense, it all still ties back to Joe Brady, right? So when I say the receiver room needs to get better, it's not just the players. It's the guy that's calling the plays as well, right? Which is Joe Brady, right? If Joe Brady's not dialing it up for him or he's not scheming them right? Then, yeah, maybe it's not all their fault, right? So, like I said, when I'm bitch about the receiver room, it's not just the players, it's the coach as well, right? So Brady has to do a better job understanding what he has in the room and what can he do for each player, what each player can do for this team, right? Use their strengths for this offense, right? And I don't feel like he does that enough. Our defense, yeah, Callie, for sure. I'm 100% with you. Our defense is, let's be real here for a minute, guys. Our defense has always been a concern for the most part. Always, right? There's always something going on with the defense. We just never seem to get it right. With a defensive-minded head coach, it should never be. Year 9, we're still, talking about the defense. At this point, I'm just done with it. Like, at this point, and of course we're not going to do it, but I'm almost to the point where, like, hey, it's just never, let's face the facts. It's just never going to, no matter what we do under this Sean McDermott scheme defense, it seems like it doesn't matter who we bring in. So why don't we just load the fuck up on offense and just try to outscore everybody? Let's try to score 40 a fucking game, because that's what it may take in the playoffs to get to a Super Bowl. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because the defense, it just seems like we're doing the same thing. Like I said, it's like groundhog season for this team. And here we go in the offseason again. We need this in the draft. We should get a cornerback in the draft. We should get a safety in the draft. We should get an edge in the draft. We should get another linebacker draft. And I thought they pretty much went all defense in this draft. All defense. Right? They got one offensive player who's not even on the team in the 7th round. And what does it show? What's happening? We're still the same, pretty much a bad defense. Even though we're considered, top 10? I don't buy it. Right? I don't buy that shit. Well, I know what I'm seeing on the field. Right? Our corners are underperforming. Benford's underperforming. I still like Benford. Can Benford bounce back from, the start of the season? Sure. But Trey White's not going to bounce back from anything. Trey White is exactly who you see on the field week after week. I told you guys this to start the season. If you thought there was going to be anything different from Trey White, you were dead wrong. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, I told you so, but I did tell you. I warned you. I saw what Trey White provided for the Rams, and he got cut. I saw what he did with the Ravens, and it wasn't anything special. Because guess what? If it was anything even somewhat special, The Ravens would have probably tried to re-sign him, and they did not. They didn't extend him. They just let him walk. And I didn't hear anybody else out there wanting Trey White's services when he was a free agent. Just the Buffalo Bills. Right? Just like Jordan Phillips. Ain't nobody rushing to sign Jordan Phillips. And there was nobody rushing to sign Jordan Poyer. Right? I'm just saying. Now, I'll say this with Poyer. Poyer may have a little bit left for the take. Maybe. I don't know yet. Got to see. Maybe we'll see tonight. I heard he is activated. We'll find out. But, you know, man, look. If we don't do anything in the deadline, guys, I'm at the point where it's just like, fuck it. Call up Poyer. Fuck it. Call up Gabe Davis when he's healthy. What do we got to lose? Because we're not doing anything anyways with the guys we got on the field. What is it going to hurt? It hurts some of you guys' feelings, but there's nothing else I could tell you at that point after the deadline. If we make no moves at the deadline, there's not much else to tell you other than fuck it. Let's just try anything at this point. Right? You know, I heard Dorian Strong is back at practice, so maybe that's a good sign. Cali Blitz, if we don't win this game against the number one defense, should we be worried? Listen, if we lose this game, it's a great question. So we would lose 2 in a row at that point. It depends how we lose. I'm going to be honest with you, Kelly. It all depends how we lose. If our offense is flat again, and we're going into halftime with 3 points, 6 points, and we lose like we lost last week where we're scoring 20 points, 23 points, and we lose the game 27-23, 26-20, whatever. Yeah, I would say there's probably a little bit, you should worry a little bit, especially because the offense isn't helping out, not helping out. The offense isn't making up for the defense, meaning we know what the defense is about, right? We're all aware. I think we're all on the same page. We know what the defense is going to give up points, right? And we all, as Bills Mafia, we go into games thinking what? Thinking Josh Allen. We got Josh Allen. We're going to score some points tonight, right? We're not ever thinking, man, this Bills defense, woo, it's going to tear the Falcons up tonight, boy. We're going to hold them to like 6 points. Like, no, you're never that confident. Never. And if you are, you are a rare person. You are one of very few that have that thinking. And no matter what opponent we go against, like the majority of people think Josh Allen, right? What could Josh Allen do? This offense, Josh Allen. And really, that's the truth. And that's why people think that way, because that you know what you're seeing on the field. And if this offense can't get going, we need to be worried. We absolutely need to be worried because that's not going to be good enough. It's just not. And it's not going to carry us in the playoffs. I just said it before. I'm at the point where it's like, fuck the defense, just load up on offense. I know it's a shitty thing to say, and it's not really the right thing to say, because technically we should fix the defense. We should want to fix the defense, right? But I've heard this song and dance before. I've seen this song and dance before, right? I know how it works, right? And the defense still lets us down, even when we get additions. Even when we go all out in the draft and we draft all defensive players, we still are struggling on defense. Even when we go out and sign Joey Bosa to a 1-year, $12 million deal, we're still struggling to get to the quarterback. I think our league leader in sacks is Cole Bishop with 2. I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Let that soak in. Our league leader in sacks for our team is 2, Cole Bishop. But I'm going to look it up because I don't want to be wrong. And somebody call me out. Hold on. Let me pull that up. Let's see here. So defense sacks. All right, let's look it up. Let's look it up. Okay, so I was wrong and right in a way. Daquan Jones has 2. Joey Bosa has 2. And Cole Bishop has 2. Epinesa 1.5 and Groot 1.5. Milano with 1 and Shaq Thompson 1. Ed Oliver 1. Walker with a half a sack. And Logue with a half. I mean, guys, that's not going to cut it, right? 13 total sacks. That's garbage, right? Let's be real, right? The defense, like, you know, as much as we continue to invest in defense, what does it give? What is it showing? What is it giving? What is it actually doing? It's doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Any idea? And I'll check in a minute to see if X has anything posted yet. Welcome. If Brady calls another jet sweep to Knox, yeah, dude, I have no idea what the hell that was about either. Terrible. Like, what are you doing? The defense is like, yeah, you're not doing that. Anyways, like, I have no idea what Brady was doing in that game last week either. We did some really uncharacteristic things for this on offense. I just didn't understand. The flea flicker, by the way, was so terrible. Just everything's clunky on offense. Like, once again, thank God for Josh Allen, who makes it work. But this isn't a smooth offense. There's nothing smooth about this offense. I never see a player just burning his man, right? I never see routes that are just super clean or drives that are just, it's rare. We may have one in a game, and it's usually that opening series. But after that, it gets clunky, right? And it gets predictable at times as well, right? It gets very vanilla at times. Like I said, nothing seems smooth about this offense. So I just hope that gets fixed, man. I really do. Panthers are not the best team. A few weeks ago, they destroyed the Falcons. Exactly. So like I said, the Falcons this isn't, we're not talking about last year's Philadelphia Eagles team we're going against, right? This is a team that can be beaten. Matter of fact, that could be beaten bad. So let's see what happens. I hope we're mad, man. I hope we rebound from last week's loss and we play with some fire. That's another thing I'll tell you about this team that I'm just not seeing, right? I don't see that killer instinct. I don't see that, pumping our chest going against, we're going to fucking go in this game and fuck you up. Like, and look, I'm not saying they have to go, talk shit on in the media, but I just don't see the aggression. Like, I just see like a team that is just going through these games, wanting to get out of there with a dub, right? But they're not, I don't see like the confidence. It's like, I feel like they're just giving teams way too much respect week in, week out. Like, given dude, we should have crushed the Patriots at home, right? We had the crowd loud. Like, there was no reason why you shouldn't win that game, right? There should be no reason why you shouldn't feel confident going against a team like that, going against a team like the Falcons, going against a team like the Panthers. Bro, you should have that mindset where, yeah, we're going to go fuck this team up. We're the fucking Buffalo Bills. We're a fucking 13-win team. We're a team that just went for, to the AFC Championship last year. Right? Like, we are that close to the Super Bowl. We're a fucking badass team. I don't get that. I don't get that from these guys. I don't. We're like nice guys out there. Like, I just don't get that. When I saw that in like early years, the early Allen years, 2020, 2021, when we had like something to prove, when a lot of people were talking shit, right? When a lot of doubters, like, then we had a little bit of that, that dog in us. I don't see it now. I just don't see it. Our coach doesn't bring it, like, come on, man, get that dog out, man. Know who you are, man. What? Yeah. TJ Sanders on IR too. What the fuck, dude? Like, Trey is no longer dynamic. Trey dynamic. Oh my God. Yeah. Trey is washed. Unfortunately, would have been better with Douglas. Honestly, maybe. I mean, Douglas has the same kind of deal that Trey has where he lost a step. He's never been like this man receiver where he's going to be run with the guy stride for stride. But he got into the play. He got back into the play and made a play on the ball. But when you saw last year when Rasul kind of lost a little bit of a step, he couldn't get back in the play and make a play on the ball. That's what's going on with Trey. And it's even worse with Trey because Trey's way behind the play. Way behind the play. And teams are exposing him week after week. Week after week. If Trey's still in there and I'm a offensive coordinator, dude, I am working that side of the field all game long. Right? I am taking short underneaths all day long because he's going to give you that cushion. And he's not going to catch up. It's just a fact. Go look at the Dolphin game. Go look at the Patriots game. These most of the plays weren't like long, like deep bombs. They were kind of short passes, but he's given so much cushion because he knows he can't play that type of defense where he's sticking with a man like that. So he has to give a cushion. So Diggs was just wrecking him. The Dolphins were too. I mean, just getting wrecked. So look, like I said, I like the guy. Good dude. He was great for us for a while, but man, like McDermott has to understand what's going on here. He has to see what we're seeing. Like, this is not like just me or a couple people complaining about Trey White. This is a problem. And we all see it. Like, come on, man. Poyer's 34. Damn. I wish we paid Peppers half as much as we paid Hamlin. Yeah, Hamlin, by the way, is also on IR, which is not a big deal. We weren't playing him anyways, and he's not effective anyways, but he is on IR. Harrison, who the fuck knows? Maxwell. Strong is not back at practice. He was put on IR 10 days ago. That is illegal. All right, so I heard something was going on with Strong, so I don't know if he's back at practice or not. Either way, I heard something good about Strong, so I could be wrong on that. But I did hear something about, let me look it up. I could be wrong, but I did hear Dorian Strong returned or something was going on with him. Let me see here. Because I could be wrong, but I thought. So, it says, let's see here. Promising Buffalo Bills were going so, no, I thought I heard something that he, I could be wrong. Let's see here. Buffalo Bills select I don't know. I thought I saw that somewhere, but maybe I'm wrong. So maybe he's still on IR. So who knows? That was a week ago, so it's possible. But I heard something went good. Maybe it was with the results of the neck thing wasn't as bad as they initially thought. Something like that. But I did hear something like that. Bosa has 4. Yeah, listen, man, it doesn't matter. Like, Bosa's not playing terrible, by the way. I'm not saying Bosa's playing terrible, but as a team, sacks like 2 is not going to cut it, guys. Like, come on. Our best sack guy is 2. I mean, like, that's through 5 weeks. I mean, we still can't get to the quarterback. Still cannot get to the quarterback. And I'm going to tell you right now, too, if we don't have a good defensive line, that is going to make this, our corners and our safeties look even worse because they're not good as it is. But if you had a good line that was getting to the quarterback, creating more pressure, getting sacks, getting them to release the ball earlier, it would help that area of the defense, but it's just not the case. So we'll see. Ed Oliver supposedly playing tonight. We'll find out. I have not seen the actives and inactives yet. I'm going to check, though, in a minute. I'm just going through the chats real quick so I don't miss anything. We haven't played fundamental discipline football in weeks. Yeah, that too. Penalties galore, Mike. Like, penalties all over the place, man. And you know what? That lies also on the coaching as well. That's not just the players. Obviously the players are the ones on the field, but coaching as well. Like, coaching has to get on top of that. Yeah, Tommy Mahomes is going to go after Trey all day. Absolutely, he is. Absolutely. Any good offensive coordinator is going to attack your weak spots, except for us. We tend not to attack defense's weak spots. I have no idea. That's the other thing. I don't get. I just don't get it. When we played Miami, they had like every cornerback out in the world. Then they had some guy got hurt during the game. They put another guy that was banged up because they had no other option. And what do? We run the ball instead of attacking their weakest area. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it sometimes. This team is so, it just is mind-boggling, some of the things I see out there. But these, by the way, these are all correctable things, though. These aren't things that can't be corrected, right? But it's about the coaching, and it's about Joe Brady, right? And it's about Sean McDermott, right? And then obviously players have to execute. And right now, it just feels like the offense is a little bit clunky. And the defense, I just feel, like I said way earlier in the podcast, the defense is what it is, guys. It continues to be that way. And it just doesn't seem like, whatever we do doesn't seem to work, right? Whatever player we bring on board, it's the same result. Still can't get to the quarterback, right? We still can't. We draft a corner, first round, guy can't even make it to preseason, right? We're still signing aging corners and Trey White and aging players, right? We're still having issues with our linebackers and injuries. They knew Matt Milano wasn't going to even make it probably through the season. That's why they readjusted his contract, where this is his last year on the team, because they knew this guy can't stay healthy. And they had no backup plan. They had none, zero, right? Dorian Strong also has taken a step back, right? I mean, we're off to like Jimmy Charlo or whatever his name is. I mean, the feel-good story. That too. We got the feel-good stories, and then we got the aging vets that have something to prove. So, and then the rookies who can't even get on the field because they're injured, or or the coach just doesn't seem like doesn't want to play them for whatever reason. Right, like, dude, it's this team. It's tough sometimes. It's tough, but listen. If you guys have been watching the Buffalo Bills for this long, come on, man. Like, this shouldn't really affect you, right? I have tough skin by now. Like, I've lived through it all, right? Super Bowl losses, right? Playoff drought, playoff losses, 13 seconds. I mean, you name it, I've lived through it. Music City Miracle. I mean, I've done it. I've gone through it all. So nothing really at this point. It doesn't really. All I can do is talk about it, but it doesn't really truly affect me where I get mad anymore. Or I'm going to continue to watch because I love the Bills. I'm going to continue to do the podcast because I love talking Buffalo Bills football and I love talking to you guys. But I can't let this team get me down anymore. I can't. Right? All I can do is talk about it and say what I think they need to do. And that's it. That's it. But I'm used to it. That's why after tough losses, guys, I kind of come on here and just kind of laugh it off, because it's one of those things, man. It's like I said, it's like groundhog season year after year for this Buffalo Bills team. I know the end result. I pretty much know it. I know this team's a good regular season team. I know they can get in the playoffs. But then I know that this defense is going to collapse at some point in the playoffs, and we're going to lose. And I hate thinking that way. Like, I don't want to think that way anymore, but nothing has changed that I've seen where it will, change my way of thinking, right? If this defense, for instance, if we're going to tonight's game and our defense has been effective through 5 weeks, and we're getting to the quarterback and we're making plays, we're getting interceptions, or we're just holding teams under, I don't know, under 20, whatever, under 15 points again, we're looking really solid on it. Then I would say, you know what, damn, okay, like maybe things are turning around. Maybe this, maybe the draft was good and these players are working out and the players are, but that's not the case. That is not the case at all. We're still we're still here, right? We're still here. We're still talking about the defense. We're still talking about what we need. Inactives are out. Okay, cool. So let me pop that on the screen for you guys real quick, since somebody did let me know that the inactives are out. Let me see if where that is, if it's on here. Somebody said that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here we go. So let me pop that on screen. Thank you for whoever told me that. Let's see here. Oh, right here. Cecil did. It's right on my screen. All right, here we go. Sorry, Cecil. Hold on real quick. Let me pop that on the screen. Okay, here we go. So here's your inactives versus the Falcons. So you got Dalton Kincaid, inactive. Wonderful. Woohoo. Right? Like, this guy has a great game last week. He's fucking already hurt. I mean, like, I guess we used him way too much. Right? Curtis Samuel, to no one. Are you surprised? Is anyone surprised that Curtis Samuel is inactive at this point? Like, Jesus. Matt Milano, obviously. Jimmy Charlo, the guy I brung up earlier, and Chase Lunt. So, Bills elevated Jordan Poyer and Jordan Phillips. So you're going to see a little old school Buffalo Bills tonight, and Poyer and Phillips. So Kincaid is out, and that's your updates. Also active. Hancock is active. Good news there. I think this guy has a lot of upside. I want to see more. I want to see them give an opportunity to Hancock. Landon Jackson is also active as well. Ed Oliver, that's great news. He's active tonight. Brandon Connerton is also back as the return man. So Connerton, who missed a couple games, healthy scratch, is back tonight. So, yeah, so there's some guys tonight that's coming back, so that's good. But no Kincaid, all right? So let's see how we do without Kincaid tonight. Kincaid was the guy last week. Well, this week, he's not the guy. He's out. So, thank you, Cecil. I appreciate you, man, giving us that update and letting me know. Let's see. And by the way, let's see what time it is right now. It is almost 6. So soon will be... I'm sorry. I was getting a text from my co-host, Mikey. Soon, King Aramis, and 40 Keys will be joining me to talk some Bills Falcons. So can't wait to have them on. Normally, like I said, Aramis is on the pregame, but since tonight is an early Monday night game, they normally do a Monday show, and that's why he is over doing their podcast right now. But they're going to cut it short a little bit and come here and do the second hour with me. So, hey, Spin in the house. Yes, Spin. He beat you tonight. He beat you tonight. Shame on you. You know why he beat you? Because I know why. Spin was over there at post podium, my dogs, and I'm sure Spin was disagreeing with everything they had to say, like he does over here. I'm sure Spin was giving him hell. Well, the good news, Spin, is King Aramis and Keys is coming on here any minute. So you could continue your disagreements with them when they get on here. Let's see here. Brother, I've been dealing with that shit since I was a kid in the 70s. There we go. Let's see here. Hopefully Strong is back and we trade for a linebacker. Say, we'll see, man. At this point, man, just trade for anybody that can improve this team. I'm just totally giving up on this defense, man. So look, if we get a cornerback in a trade that's actually, is useful, right? That can move the needle some. I'm cool with it too. Like, I'm not going to bitch here and complain and be like, oh, wish we got a receiver. I just want somebody that's productive, that can move the needle, that I could go, okay, well, shit, man, at least we got a guy that can actually maybe help us get us to where we need to be. And that is into February, a Super Bowl. So let's see here. Spin, Tommy, that's a problem. If you can't let this team let you down anymore, especially with McDermott being there. I don't let them. Listen, you know that I don't let them. I don't. I'll talk about it still, but I don't get mad anymore. I just there's no point, man. I listen, look, once again, I've dealt with Super Bowl losses. It doesn't get any worse than that, you know. I just obviously podcasts weren't around. I was a kid, so I couldn't even talk to you guys about those. Right. Dude, I remember when I came on here, this was before Mikey and me were working together on this channel. I came on here after the 13-second loss, and my God, dude, I went back the other day and watched that video, and I was like out of breath, like, because that game took everything out of me, bro. It took everything out of me, and I was just like, you could tell I was like a defeated man. I was just like, I was done, dude. Oh my God, I wish I could pull that video up to show you guys, man, because you see it in me. Like, I went back, I'm like, damn, dude, like, I look like just a guy that just went through hell, watching that game, man. Let me see if I can pull that up, man, just to pull it up here. Give me a second, guys. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, it was just so brutal, man. And I was just like, dude, this is the worst, man. I was so upset. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it, man. Talks amongst yourselves. Let me see here. I don't know if I could find it in time. I don't want to keep you guys waiting, but oh man, it was brutal. Either way, I'll find it one day. I'll play it for you guys, but I was just so done, dude. Spin, keys admitted to everyone. I know my shit. Look at that capital letter spin. So of course I had to take full advantage and say McDermott is the GOAT of all coaches in the history. All right, now I know you're trolling. Get out of here, Spin. Yeah, he's the GOAT, all right. Yeah. The GOAT of what? Clapping? The GOAT of calling unnecessary timeouts? Come on, man. The GOAT of choking in the playoffs? He's the GOAT, all right. We better cover the spread at least. Dude, that's one thing I don't. What are we favored by? 4.5? We should. You're right. You know what? Yes. Anytime you see, by the way, a spread like, I don't know, 10 plus for our team, like, winning by 10. No, dude, no, don't. Like, I'm comfortable around, like, even when we're supposed to win by 10, I'm like, if I'm betting, placing a parlay, I'll put like 5.5 if we're favored by 10 plus, and that's even risky. It shouldn't be, but it just tends to be. Spin McDermott has mastered the clap. He has. He's the GOAT at the clap for 100%. He's the GOAT at the clap. Jeez. Oh my God. Let's see here. I think I got a message real quick. Let me see. I got a message from somebody. No, I don't. I thought I did. Okay. So I'm still waiting on these guys to join me. That's all right. Okay. Let's get to. So I want to get to something real quick. Let's get to this. They have a little article here on storylines. Shout out to Bill's Wire, my favorite silent co-host. Storylines to watch during the lead up to week 6. All right, here we go. So, bouncing back from loss. The overriding headline hanging over the Bills will be their first loss of the season. The Patriots came into Buffalo and beat the Bills 23-20. The team has to respond to a defeat for the first time in 2025. I want to hear something crazy little stat. The Bills haven't won a week 5 game. I think the last time they won was in 2022. So it's been a while. So we don't win week 5 games for some odd reason. Anyways, bye week headlines. On both sides, there are bye week conversations to be had. The Falcons will come into this game fresh. Atlanta has a rested team as they're coming off of their early season bye. For Buffalo, the Bills will play in Atlanta and then head into their own bye next week. The Bills will not want to take a week off on a sour note. Which team gets that boost related to their bye week as opposed to the nugget of disappointment? Yeah, listen, I said it before, man. If the Bills lose this game going into the bye week, oh my God, it's gonna be the longest 2 weeks ever. It's gonna be brutal if we lose this game. Dude, you're gonna hear so much talk with podcasts, with national media. It's gonna be crazy, guys. It's gonna be absolutely insane. The amount of this team's done, this team's over with. The Patriots are gonna win the East. Like, once again, it's just talk. We've been down that road before, right? We all know this. One season we trailed the Dolphins. All the way up until I think the final game of the year. So I don't necessarily, if we do lose, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, like it's over with. But boy, we're gonna have a lot to talk about if we lose this game tonight. A lot. And so will Brandon Beane and so will Sean McDermott and staff, because that's unacceptable. You cannot lose to the Falcons here. You can't. And I'm not saying the Falcons are trash, but come on, man. The Buffalo Bills are a better team than the Falcons. And if they lose tonight and they lose in the same fashion that they lost to the Patriots, yeah, there's some problems. There's definitely some problems. And it just can't be corrected overnight. That's probably a personnel problem. They're going to need to pull some triggers and make some trades. It's just the way it's going to have to be. Regardless if they don't feel comfortable or not with it, regardless if they don't want to give up pick, they're going to have to, unless they don't feel confident in this team, meaning they make a trade. Will this guy even help us win, get us, improve our chances of getting to Super Bowl? Will this even help? Is it worth it? And if they don't make a trade, that tells me they're thinking this team is not a Super Bowl caliber team. Like adding a player or two is not going to help. That's what my feeling is. Now, look, if we beat the Falcons tonight, the offense is rolling, right? The receivers are doing their job. Then okay, I'll say, you know what? Okay, maybe they're getting it. Maybe things are starting to develop here in that room, right? Maybe Joe Brady and Josh Allen and the rest of the receiver room are starting to come together and finally figure it out. And I won't stress so much about that room. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that quarter CB2, that's gonna be a problem. That, regardless of whatever happens tonight, needs to be taken care of. Has to. It just has to. But once again, I said it earlier, even if we get a CB2, which maybe they do, does it really truly help out the defense in the playoffs? Does that put us over the edge? I still think it's the offense. I still think this offense has to be on point, electric, pretty much. Mistake free in order for this team to have an opportunity for the playoffs. That's just how I see it. Unless something crazy happens, this defense suddenly wakes up and McDermott starts to call a little, different game plan, and Bobby Babbage. Okay. But right now, but whatever, man. Honestly, man, just bring in anybody. Bring in anybody that can help. I don't care. We need help. we need fucking help. Because I just don't think this team is complete enough to get where we need to be. I just don't. I think we have two really good players. We got a great player in Josh Allen, a borderline great player, and a good to great player in James Cook, and a lot of average to good players. B to B plus players. This is not going to cut it. It's not. And really, honestly, it goes for the coaches. We got a lot of B and B plus coaches. We do not have a great coach. I know Spin thinks he's a great coach. He's not a great coach. Brady, more of the problem than anyone is willing to admit. Yeah, Brady. I'm not like my co-host Mikey. He thinks Brady's great. I don't. I like Brady. I think he can be great. I think he could be talked about as one of the best OCs out there. But right now, I don't see him as one of the best OCs out there. I think he's okay. I think he's good, but he has some bad tendencies. I think he, and I said earlier, I think he you know, he's predictable at times, way too predictable actually at times. I think he, you know, he doesn't understand his players' strengths. He doesn't use them in this offense. I think this offense goes stale at times. It's very vanilla at times. And all this stuff is stuff that he can correct. All of it. You know, he could be more aggressive on offense. He can be a little bit more creative on offense. He can understand what players' strengths can be used in this offense more. He doesn't do it. He hasn't done it. I haven't seen it. Right? We have a speed guy. Why aren't we using him over the top? Why aren't we going deep with him? Right? Why aren't we using Elijah more on deep shots down the field, or slants, or anything, jet sweeps, anything? Nothing. We're not doing it. Right? We're not being creative with Keon Coleman. We're not putting him in we're not putting him in a slot a little bit more. Right? We're not even putting Khalil Shakir on the outside. Khalil Shakir played on the outside in college as well. He can do both, slot and outside. Like, start mixing it up a little bit more. They're just not doing it. So I don't know. I don't see it. Go Bills. Yes, go Bills. Absolutely go Bills, man. We got this. We got this tonight. Let's just get this dub, and we'll talk about what we need to do in the bye week. No money to pay AJ Brown. Listen, I want to say this, Cecil. There's always a way. So whenever someone says that, I don't believe that. There's always a way to work the cap. Always. And, you know, that's what I'm talking about when I say Brandon Beane sometimes, you know, or sometimes he just doesn't like to step outside his comfort zone. But sometimes you got to do that for a player like that. So let's say AJ Brown was, for some reason, they were going to move on, right? And there was an opportunity. Well, you know what? I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to move around player contracts to make it work. But when are you going to have another opportunity for a player like that, right? Sometimes you got to make those decisions. Even though it's outside your comfort zone, even though, you know, you're like, you know, it's going to hurt us maybe next year or the couple years. But my thing is, nobody will give a fuck if you win a Super Bowl. Like, if we win a Super Bowl and let's say we're the next year or two, we're kind of like struggling a little bit because we're trying to, now we have to, you know, maybe cut some players, you know, get back, you know, into good cap space. Nobody's going to care. Nobody will care because we got a Super Bowl. Trust me. You know, but let's say we don't get a Super Bowl. Let's say we get AJ Brown, don't win a Super Bowl. But I'm not going to be mad at it. At least tried, right? I'll know at least he gave it a shot rather than sitting on his hands and doing nothing, right? You got to eventually take gambles. You have to roll the dice if you're a GM from time to time. You just have to. You have to step outside your comfort zone and do things like that, right? You have to take chances. That's what it's all about. And I feel like sometimes he plays it way too safe as a GM. Way too safe. I wonder how this halftime is going to go for Tommy. I fucking hope so. I hope it goes good, Spin. I really do. Trey Palmer for AJ Brown. I don't know. I don't know what it would take. Look, and even if it's not Brown, I mean, you got Olave out there. And look, we don't know yet who's going to be sellers. We'll know in the next week or two. But I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of sellers because there's a lot of teams right now that are underperforming, that are not performing well, that are just at this stage in the season, they're understanding that they need to gear up for the offseason and they need draft capital, right? And they need to get rid of some players. So there's going to be more names popping up that we're going to be like, that's intriguing. That's intriguing. So right now, a little bit too early to kind of tell who's floating out there. But we'll find out. Look at Nakua. The Rams got him. Yeah, well, man, they got lucky. I mean, in a way, you know, the guy went to sixth round? I mean, hell of a player, man. Hell of a player. I wish we got him over Justin Shorter. We did not, man. And that's how it works sometimes, man. But those are rarities, right? The Antonio Browns of the world, right? That go late in drafts that, you know, wind up being really, really good players. Usually the top players are drafted in the first couple rounds, right? Dolphins fire sale. They may. I don't know who they were going to get rid of, but I mean, maybe there's a defender out there on their team that we might want to scoop up, but I don't know if they trade in their division though. We'll see. We would need to clear about $8 million. Yeah, look, but there's always a way. There's always a way to spend. I'm telling you. If they really want a player, they can always figure a way to get it done. And Brandon Beane's really, really good at doing that, maneuvering around contracts and making that work. So I don't buy into the whole we don't have the money, it's impossible to make that deal. Anything's possible. You can. There's always a way, right? So I don't want to. Don't buy into the whole we don't have the money. There's always a way. All right, let's get back to this. Josh Allen bumps and bruises. That says Buffalo head coach Sean McDermott has noted plenty of injuries already throughout the 2025 season. However, anytime the name Josh Allen is mentioned, it creates an extra stir. McDermott said the Bills quarterback is dealing with some bumps and bruises after last week's loss. Do any of those hamper him against the Falcons or keep him out of practice this week? So I didn't hear nothing about that as far as him missing practice, so we're good. Does he have bumps and bruises? Yeah, I'm sure he does, right? So, but that's normal. I'm not really concerned. And the bye week's coming up. You'll have some time to get right. Defensive improvement between poor tackling, penalties, and general sloppy play. The Bills need to go into bye week with some confidence, especially on defense. While Buffalo is 4-1, and potentially could be 5-1 at their break, any positives have not had much to do with their defense, and that is absolutely correct. There's no, they got to figure that shit out. Dual threat offense. For the first time this season, running back James Cook was bottled up by an opposing defense. The Patriots held to only 49 rushing yards. That kept the Bills' offense more one-dimensional than usual. Allen did keep his team within striking distance, despite Cook being ineffective. It's still probably a good ideal. It's still probably a good ideal for offensive coordinator Joe Brady to try and get his ground game going. Of course, I mean he's your top weapon on offense outside of Josh Allen, and look who we got. We got the dudes in the house. King Aramis and 40 Keys. What up, dudes?
What's good, my toucan man, my right hand Sam? Everybody's going on. What's good with it?
What is good?
For my appearance, so I want to only be right.
Oh man, I'm loving it, man. What up, King? How you doing, brother?
I'm great.
How was the post podium podcast, man? I heard Spin was in there, and Spin says, and I want you to tell me if this is accurate, Keys. So that you finally admitted that everything he said is correct and he knows his stuff.
I did say that. So
wow.
I also said don't let it go to your head because this is the one and only time it's going to happen.
Wow. Keys, you're turning around, man. I got to say I'm proud of you, man. I really am. You're a swell guy today. All right, what's going on with you? You all right? Is this Bill's team messing with your head? Is that why you're saying these things? What's going on?
Probably. I'm thinking about
probably. Okay. Well, there we go. So
I'm thinking about the pregame.
Pregame.
The real pregame.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, Daniel says PPP in the house. Yes,
Why?
they are, man. Yes, they are. Finally, we got the Keys, man. Oh, he's rocking the shades too. You were rocking the shades for a minute too, man.
What you talking about? All your
That's right.
Your little images and graphics.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea. O.J. Simpson in the truck. We eating ravioli. What the hell's going on, man?
Dude, those are the best, man. I love it, man. Hey, those are real. By the way,
I had the dad shorts on, but then at the same time, everybody's taller than me, which is ironic.
Look, listen, Keys. These are real images I found while searching online. I needed to find out what you were all about, and I found a lot of stuff out, man. It's not my, look. Did anyone know that Keys was in Weekend at Bernie's 3. I mean, did anybody know that movie was even existed? Look at Keith.
Yeah, bro. No wonder you got so much money.
I be balling. I be balling.
I mean, this is unbelievable. Oh my God. So, guys, how you feeling, man? How you feeling about tonight's game, man?
I'm nervous. I'm extremely nervous. I think looking at what the Falcons have talent-wise is what makes me nervous. And the scheme that they have, both defensively and offensively, it scares me too. I think what kind of levels the playing field or even tips it heavily in the favor of the Bills is the experience that the Falcons quarterback has. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I look at as, all right, maybe I don't need to worry so much. You know, Sean McDermott has a really good record against young QBs and rookies in general. So I don't doubt that he'll be able to, you know, whip something up that'll cause a turnover, maybe two. And that'll probably end up being the difference in this game.
What about you, Keys, man? How you feeling?
I'm fine. I really am. Every week I'm fine because we have the division in our back pocket. Even though we lost to the Patriots, we talked about it on our show today. The Patriots was that one blemish on the record. But regardless of that, I think that was self-inflicted. I think the Bills actually playing against a front four who's athletic, is tasked with pinning the ears and getting to the quarterback. We have the quarterback that would welcome that kind of pressure because that allows him to do what he does best. So you know, with that being what it is, the wide receiver taking advantage of the play breaking down on the backside. I don't think you're going to see a lot of deep balls because you got Watts and Bates back there to kind of take that away. But I don't think the Bills want to do that anyway. It's just not going to do anything. It's not going to take anything away from the Bills that they don't want to take away from themselves.
Billy D coming in. What up, Billy D? Says Penix has silly feet. What do you guys think about that? Silly feet.
Bad mechanics. So there's
does have bad mechanics.
Plays where he's like overthrowing receivers and his mechanics and his feet, his body in general is just not in sync. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be some errant throws. The only reason that may not kill him in this game is because usually when he throws, he's throwing to the outside. He doesn't throw over the middle that much, so the overthrows don't get picked off all like that. I think the hope has to be that, you know, maybe one of our corners takes a chance and tries to get in front of one of those, you know, overthrows and maybe, you know, takes one to the house or something like that. But other than that, I don't think that's gonna play a major role in this game as far as overthrows are concerned.
Okay. I do got this report here for the inactives and actives, and I want your thoughts on that, you guys. So inactive, Dalton Kincaid, of course, right? Comes off last week having a great game. I guess that was too much. Got hurt. I don't know where, maybe in practice or that game. Curtis Samuel, hurt. Not inactive. Matt Milano inactive. Jimmy Charlo inactive. Chase Lunt. Now there is some actives in this game as well. Poyer and Phillips, by the way. Hancock also and Landon Jackson. So, what's your thoughts on the inactives and actives and the player call ups tonight?
I was saying on our show, I actually like the threat of Kincaid not being in any game. What that does is that takes the game plan away from Atlanta's defense, because the team, you know, this is where you'll see if everybody is real or if it's fact or fiction. Because if we don't get off on this one because Kincaid is out, somebody's got to step up. Whether it be Elijah Moore, whether it be Keon Coleman, whether it be whoever. It should be somebody that we don't even know is going to take over this game. So this is in actuality what they built their offense to do, to play when somebody gets hurt, when somebody goes down. And I think this is a game that everybody that you showed active is really not going to be an effective player. You're talking about Jordan Poyer, who's probably going to get a jersey, and that's about it. Jordan Phillips is kind of just Jordan Phillips at this point in time.
Right.
But, you know, the rotation is what it is. And his team should have a good shot at winning this thing.
You made a great point with Kincaid being out and the everybody eats thing. Like, here's the opportunity, right? Like, we're going to see right here if this is going to be effective or not, right? I just right now, man, when I talk about the receiver room, and I was saying this earlier, I don't know if you guys agree, but when I talk about the offense as a whole, receiver room, running back room, it still links back to Joe Brady, right? Like, it's all still one thing, right? So when we talk about the receiver room, everybody eats. Okay, well, the players may not be doing their job, but I don't know if Brady's doing his either. He's not. He's part of the problem. Is how I see it, right? He's not scheming it up for certain guys. He's not understanding certain player strengths and using them on the offense. And the players too. They got to also execute, right? So it's a little bit of both, I feel like, right now. And we're back into this problem that we were seeing last year where I feel like it's like the Bills came up with this slogan to make up for the fact that we don't have a one, to make fans believe everything's okay. And yeah, go ahead.
Everybody got to eat. Everybody got to eat.
right. Hey, man, everybody got to eat, man. My kid, right? It's not all about Johnny. Right? So, look, man, look, the idea sounds great. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I heard, I'm like, okay, obviously, like, we're going to always want to think, hey, they came up with this, and it sounded, boy. And then we go on a winning streak, like last year, 3 in a row, like 30 points. Whoa, hey, maybe they got something going here. And then boom, and then you finally realize, no, they don't have anything going. And I kind of feel like they're holding on to this. And look, it can work if you have the right pieces in place and the right offensive coordinator to understand each guy's strength and then effectively use them on the field. Like, the only way it's going to work. It can't work if those things aren't connecting. And I feel like right now we're in year 2 with a new kind of a cast, couple of new players, a receiver that we were all hoping would make up for the cast from last year that didn't do the job, right? And that's why we went out and got Cooper. So we added Palmer, we added more. So we're like, okay, we got a guy to separate. Now we got a guy with speed. We got Coleman coming second, and I still see the same results. I still see the same gameplay. I still see a clunky offense at times. I don't see a smooth running offense. I see an offense that first drive usually smooth, right? And that's because that's the game plan right away. The first series is always the most important, right? That's the best, usually the plays they got, and then it gets clunky. Like, it gets clunky. The next series, always clunky. Always, right? We're trying, predictable. Brady's throwing predictable offensive play calls out there. We're doing very vanilla. Now everything's short underneath. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit of both a problem. I think it's Brady, the receivers not doing their job, and maybe just honestly pure talent. When we talk about here, people are talking about, oh, this guy wouldn't fit in our scheme, right? If he's a better receiver. Let's say we had a chance at why not? It's the most, I feel like this is the stupidest comment ever, because if you bring in a guy, let's just say hypothetically, you bring in a guy with like AJ Brown, and I know he's not going to come here, but I'm just going to throw his name out there. Let's say you bring in a guy with his talent, even through the draft. Let's say they got lucky and they found a guy in the draft that we happen to draft, their 7th round draft pick this year who got cut. Let's say he was unbelievable. He was Puka Nacua. You're telling me that our Joe Brady wouldn't dial it up more and scheme for this guy more, knowing that this guy tends to get open more than B, C, and D, and F? Of course he is. And if he doesn't, he's not doing his job. So, like, why? And that's not going to mess the offense up. If you bring in a player that can actually create separation, he's only going to help out. There's no way that Joe Brady's going to go, man, McDermott, Bean, I can't do it. You were telling me you're going to give me talent? No. I want this. Everybody eats the work. Like, no way. What's your feelings on that, guys? Keys, I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
Man. No. This is my feeling about it. I think he picked me because we talk about this a lot. But
no shit, Spin. Go ahead.
I brought this up on our show. Now, we're jumping on Brady. We jump on Brady, but at the same time, Josh Allen is one of the most prevalent quarterbacks at changing the play at the line of scrimmage. So how do we know what Joe Brady's actually calling versus what's actually being run?
We have no idea.
And that's we have no idea. I thought about this and I said, we're jumping on this guy because it's boring, but we got a quarterback who likes everybody eats, which we know. We got a quarterback who likes to be comfortable. Now he likes to make big plays as well, but when everybody eats and what he's calling or what we're running is actually going to give him the most outlets, if you will. So I think it's tough to say Joe Brady needs to dial it up because we don't know if he has been dialing it up versus what we're actually seeing on the field.
So I'll counter that. When Allen had Dable here, even Dorsey's first year, I didn't see a problem with Allen going to Diggs or Cole Beasley or John Brown or like, and by the way, we still got just as far AFC Championship game. So it wasn't like we underperformed when we had talented receivers. So I don't buy into that either, where Allen's like, look, man, I really like to do it this way, because he's done it both. If we're going to be real, right? Now this whole thing about forcing it to Diggs only came when the last year when Diggs was starting to become a problem, right? Like where, oh no, he's only the reason why this offense is bad is now Allen's forcing the Diggs. But the first 3 years, now that wasn't a problem. But now year 4, now it's a problem. I don't buy into that. Like I just simply do not. I think Allen could go in any offensive system and make it work. Well, go ahead.
This will be my hot take here. I think it's all Josh Allen's fault. I think all of the unsuccess that the offense is having right now is all Josh Allen's fault. And here's why. When you focus in on one simple thing that Josh hates to do that could potentially change the entire landscape of how the offense performs, it's astronomical. It is literally the linchpin, and that linchpin is playing under center. Josh Allen hates playing under center. If he would just get comfortable with doing that, you open up play action with James Cook. You open up boot action. You open up so many different other types of plays that you can do from that under center set, from that I formation set, from that 12 formation set. It takes what Sean wants to do and puts that Josh Allen spice on it if Josh Allen would just get comfortable with playing under center. But because he doesn't like to do that, you now have to incorporate two separate and different styles of offense where you're playing under center when you want to run the ball, like Chris Collinsworth said, and whenever you want to pass the ball, you go in shotgun, and here and there you'll run out of shotgun a little bit just to kind of show for the sake of tape. And sometimes you'll have, Josh do one play action, every couple of games to show that you're capable of doing it. But it's not part of the foundation of the offense. So when you're looking at all of the dichotomy happening with the offense right now and the issues with the passing game and how the passing game is not being married with the run game, this is not us saying it. This is Sean McDermott saying it. So if that exists, then you have to look at the why. And in my opinion, the only thing that's really stopping the merging of the two styles of offense is the guy that doesn't want to play under center.
Yeah, I double down on that because, yes, I'm going to say it right here and now. You got a top 3 running back in the league right now, regardless of what you think, or what you think about Henry, what you think about, because you see what Henry's doing without Lamar. You think about Saquon, who's not Saquon from last year.
Yeah,
James Cook. This is for him to take. And to Cecil's point, the play action works if Josh Allen can sell it. You can't sell a play action out of a shotgun. You can't do it.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And what it does is it allows you to throw in motion on the bootleg, to your point, because if you're sticking in his chest as you're standing right next to him, nobody's falling for that because there's nothing to sell it.
Exactly.
But if I'm turning my back to you and I put these big mitts with a ball and then you're already in phase for the bootleg to the right, even because that's where he likes to run. And guess what? If he ain't gotten in, take off.
Exactly.
Take off.
What do we see Mahomes doing all the time? On 4th down, we see they run it, and we just mentioned this like 20 minutes ago. But every time the Chiefs get the 4th down, what do? They do that little rollout with Mahomes, and you got that little that short route option, a deep route option, or Mahomes has the option to run for the 1st down. They do that every single time, and it's death to a defense unless you play it exactly like the Lions played it last night. They played it extremely well, but you can't do that unless you're good at or comfortable with, at the very least, playing from under center. You got to be able to fake that, to run that play action and boot out, and then have that underneath and have that deep route and see what you have to have. That makes Mahomes such a huge weapon at that point in time. It is one of the most unbeatable plays in the league. Right? And you have to be perfect as a defense to stop a play like that. Imagine being able to do that on every 3rd and 2, the same way you would use a QB sneak. Imagine being able to do that on, to get 4 yards. Like, it would simplify so many things for the offense, and it would make the success rate of the offense skyrocket when it comes to first downs, third down conversion rates, EPA per play. Like, we have playmakers on this team. Let's get away from this talk of we need to trade for another guy. How about we just fix what we have here first?
Okay.
No, back to me.
So look, okay, I don't totally agree with that take, your take, but I agree with some of it. I will say this. I've been saying that for years about the play action with any quarterback. It's best under center. Clearly, that whole shotgun play action shit doesn't work. It's garbage. It's a nonsense play. The defensive line could totally see that you're not handing the ball off. When you're under center and you turn your back, they have no idea who has the ball at that point, if you're handing the ball off or not. That's what makes a successful play action. I totally agree with that. And that's on Allen. Allen has to learn and be more comfortable with going under center. And that's on Brady too, though. Brady and McDermott and the staff needs to get it to Josh's head that this is what makes this play effective. And this will help this offense more. But, to go back on Allen, look, man, I still think some of these receivers, when I watch the All-22, now, of course, there is some plays. And, when I hate when sometimes we nitpick and we're like, bro, Samuel's wide, like that happens every game throughout the NFL. There's always a guy open at multiple times during the course of a game where you could really go back all 22 and be like, Mike Evans was wide the fuck open, and like it happens all the time. You can't expect perfection. He's going to miss plays. We got to be real with that. But I think as Bills Mafia goes, I think we expect perfection or like every week from Josh Allen, and we're so dissatisfied if we don't get that, like, because we expect it. So we just do. And the thing is here, if he doesn't play well and this offense doesn't play well, we don't have a shot at winning. I mean, that's also a fact. Like, this defense is not going to carry this offense, this team. It's not. So Josh Allen has to be pretty much perfect. And that's why I think he gets a lot of heat. Like, you guys are going, hey, it's Josh Allen's fault. Okay, maybe the offense can be a little better. Maybe if he does a little bit of things to do better, but that doesn't help the other major problems we have on this team, right? That's only correcting that little problem.
I get what you're saying, but you got
you know what I'm saying?
You got to consider that there are, let me see, 1, 2, I would say our 2 best pass catchers are not being used properly, right?
Yeah.
Coleman needs to be on the inside. Shakir needs to be on the outside. If you want to go our top 3 options, Kincaid needs to be utilized more, right? So there is that aspect of it that really doesn't have anything to do with Josh Allen. I'm not saying that Josh Allen was, the only thing that's wrong. I
get it. Yeah.
Like, he's the linchpin, right? If we can get that part fixed and get him to play from under center, it would unlock a lot of other stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that the Bills aren't going to still choose to use their pass catchers wrong. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm not saying that they use them wrong 100% of the time. Some, these guys still make plays regardless. I think our playmakers make plays in spite of the scheme they're being put in. And I think that's offensively and defensively. So credit to the players for sure. But that doesn't mean that we still can't, work to improve. Hey, listen, if we just tweak a few things, put Coleman on the inside, move Shakir around, let him play wherever he wants. I mean, Sophie, I don't know what to tell you. this is the best.
Oh, Sophia, come on. Sophia, come. So
I just got on here. This joint is trash.
Key's fault. It's Key's fault.
I don't know what I did. I put the shades on.
Last time you're ever coming on your Keys, ruining everything. Now I got my shows lame. God.
Yep. You've been standing.
Never been lame before.
I know, right? She's usually loving the show. But
yeah, way to go.
This is the first time I've ever said live that it's Josh needs to take responsibility for.
I want people on our show to know it wasn't me.
She wants me to smash the thumbs down now. Come on.
Wow, Sophie, she is killing it right now.
She is not happy with us. Sophia.
What can I do to bring you back?
Yeah, there you go.
What can I do to bring you back? Don't worry about it. What can I do for you?
But yeah, I mean, so again, I think the idea is just use what you have in the best way possible, not the way you think it should be used. Use it in the best way possible. Empower your players, empower your coaches to do whatever works, right? And that'll bring you closer to making the game look easy. I think the biggest criticism for the offense and the defense is it's looked hard the first 4 or 5 weeks.
Yes, I'm with you. But you know what? That is a trend with this team.
Yeah,
I've seen it. This is a trend that's dating back a couple seasons now, where when Mikey says the same thing, it's like, why does everything seem difficult? Right? But like everything seems so difficult, and it shouldn't be. And also, too, I got to say, too, we don't attack weaknesses from defenses. That's a Brady thing, and that's not an Allen thing. That's a Brady thing. I feel like, when we talk about Brady, I like Brady. I do. I think he's a good offensive coordinator. But I think he could be better, and I think he knows this. And I think in time he can probably get to that point where we're going, hey, he's one of the best in the league. I don't think he's one of the best in the league, but I think he's trending in the right direction. But he has to correct some things as offensive coordinator that I feel like, is not getting him to be in that status of, hey, he's one of the best ones out there. But yeah, like you said, I agree with you on the Allen. Some of the Allen takes under center. He needs to get under center a little bit more, and that's an Allen thing. And that's maybe the coaches need to get on him too and tell him, hey man, we got to work with you on this. You know what I mean? And Allen, as we know, he's has worked on mechanics. He's worked on flaws. So I don't see why he would be so against that if he's worked on other things in the past to correct his game, to better his game. And like I said, he's never had a problem with getting the ball to anybody. Right. And so I don't want to hear the whole, if he had this guy, then he's going to force, like, no, he's not like that. He's going to do what he does to win. He just wants to win. Right. Like, so I don't think a better player will ruin anything. We ruin what? Like, it's not like this is greatest show on turf and we're going to ruin it by bringing in somebody else. We're kind of like in a funk. So we'll see what happens after this game. Keys is right. This is a moment where we're going to see what this offense is about. At least that receiver room, right? They have a chance now to step up, right? And see who, let's see what Brady dials up here now that Kincaid is out. One of his main weapons. So let's get to the game because I know you guys want to bounce in about 15 minutes. Keys told me he had to get out of here, and I know the rest of everybody does too. The game starts at 7:15. So X factors, let's do it, man. We'll start with Aramis. Aramis, offense and defense. Who's your X factors?
X factor for me in this game is James Cook for sure on offense. I think he needs to be utilized in every single way possible in order to attack the linebackers and to stave off the blitz. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Run them, pass them the ball, make it easy on Josh to get the ball out, and you're still putting the ball in the hands of somebody that can make plays when there is no play. Defensively for this game, I think Ed Oliver is going to be the X factor. Even though he's coming off of an injury, he needs to be an impact player in the middle of that defense. You got to make Penix move his feet. He is not the best thrower on the run. He's got a ton of arm talent, but when you get him off of his spot, you get him taking his eyes down from the field. Now you can make an impact with Rousseau and Bosa on the edges.
I like that. And we got a quick question here. It says Cecil says, how about Babbage? Where do you think he falls?
That just seems like a clickbait question. That's pretty lazy. Next question, please.
So, do you want to answer that?
Where does Babbage fall? Well, I don't. I think Babbage is the equivalent of what we're seeing from the Eagles, from the standpoint of the Eagles coordinator is not an X's and O's guy, right? He was a position coach that they gave the job to in the same way that Babbage was a position coach that they gave the job to.
Right.
idea that Babbage is really coordinating and running the show. I mean, realistically, anybody with any decent level of football knowledge can be given a defensive playbook by somebody who designed it and just call the plays. Like anybody can call plays in an NFL game. It doesn't take, a world of knowledge to do that. Now, to be able to call plays strategically, to set up other plays, to make adaptations and in-game adjustments, it does take a high level of X's and O's knowledge. But again, Babbage still has Sean for that. And we know that this is Sean's scheme. So I don't think we should really be trying to gauge or judge or rate anything that Babbage does here.
Yeah.
He goes somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'm with you too.
I think that's where the defense fell apart from 24 to 25. You got to give some credence to the fact they hired Nielsen. So that's the linchpin right there. That tells you all you need to know about who's running the show. This McDermott scheme, but they're trying to integrate something different in. Last year was cover 3 heavy. This year is a lot more man. This year is a lot more blitzing than it was last year. There was only one reason for that, because they brought in this guy. Now, what I think it was Cecil said earlier, something about the scheme, and I don't want to misquote you, but I just want to get on to that point. The scheme, the cover 3 that they ran last year was working to a degree. Mm-hmm. But what they needed to do was they needed to add pieces to it. They just went and changed the defense. You should have added to what you had. It was a boring defense. But guess what? Mm-hmm. If you would have got Deion Walker, if you would have got even TJ Sanders, you would have got whoever
in that defense last
and
year.
Added to that defense last year. Look what you got.
Now
even Bosa. But instead, you go ahead and you want to blitz and do all this stuff, but you still have compressors. See, that's the problem I have with the way they run this defense. They get compressors, they don't get edge rushers. There's a big difference. They want guys to run through people as opposed to run around people. And if you're going to move the defense to the 21st century, you got to get faster. Yeah. You got to get bendy. You can't be all Bruce Smiths. And that's what they're going to try to sell you, which is fine, but it's not going to, as you see, it's not going to work. Yeah, we have 40 sacks this year. Great. But how many could we have if somebody would have, Myles Garrett numbers or something like that? I mean, it would be a lot easier if we had one guy who was a one-man wrecking crew, which we don't. Everybody, they poo-poo on Group. No. We talk about this all the time. They poo-poo on Group because he's not getting it done. But that was never his game. Tommy, you know more than anybody. Tell me at Miami, how many of those sacks did he just take over and just like your boy Bain?
Oh, Bain?
Yeah, like
that dude's he's a freak, bro. Yeah.
But people expect that from Rousseau. And he never was like, he had the numbers, but the game was not the same. So what I want people to understand is, for your question about the X factors, Rousseau is actually one of mine today. Because what you had to know about Bijan Robinson is he runs outside of the C gap a lot. And this is Rousseau's calling card, locking up that outside. Now we got to get Rap to come up into the hole, Cecil. We got to get Terrell Bernard to get off blocks like we saw in that play on Friday that he didn't. He just misread the gaps. So yeah, I think the defense it could work. It really could. What we have, if you put Hancock in there, if you put him next to Bishop. Let them learn together because they're two young guys, not a rookie, but a second-year guy and a rookie, and they're going to play for years together. Let them get that synergy that we saw with Poyer and Hyde.
I'm with you, man. That's the one thing too. I don't understand why we continue to do the same thing each year, man. We continue to not play certain young guys, or we continue to do the same. It's the same thing, and Aramis is right. The defensive coordinator, whoever it is really just a reflection of the guy downstairs, which is Sean McDermott. It's his scheme. And by the way, he chimes in all the time. Trust me, he chimes in all the time. And I'm sure he switches defensive plays all the time. And he did it with Frazier. He took over play calling certain games with Frazier. He took over, and I'm sure he's taken over for Babbage at times. So we don't know, but I'm sure it's happened. We know for a fact it happened with Frazier, and Frazier was a seasoned defensive coordinator, a former head coach, and he took the call duties from him. You sure as fuck is going to take it from Bobby Babbage, and he has. So it's not his scheme. It's Bobby Babbage is a fall guy. If things don't go right, he's just another guy that's going to fall down, and it's going to be Ryan Nielsen who steps up, and he'll be the next guy. So that's how I see it.
Roy right there, because I'm so tired of hearing people say maybe they haven't gotten it yet. These are NFL players. What does that mean? These are the top of tops in college. What does that mean? These were top 50 players in high school. What does that mean? They were the creme de la creme in Little League. You mean to tell me they haven't seen these schemes?
Cecil got it.
You mean to tell me that they haven't? Yeah, they have not. They can't grasp it. Then what are they doing in the league? Why is it that Harrison defense? Why is it that these guys must be athletic talents? Because you saw Terry Gray in the embedded. They didn't know who he was talking about when he said that guy's a freaking workout warrior. That guy's a beast. It was Hancock they were talking about. This guy played at Ohio State. State. But you want to go ahead and put Taylor Rapp in there. You want to go ahead and give me DeMar Hamlin. He got it right, but he wasn't good on the field. Do you want somebody that's great on the field, or you want somebody that's good in the classroom? I'm tired. I'm so tired of not getting it. Make them get it. And if they don't get it, don't waste our time. Give them something they can get and put them on a freaking field.
There you go. Now you
Amen. All right, let's get the score predictions and we'll get out of here. So I'll start with you, Aramis. What's your score prediction for tonight?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go 27-24 Bills.
Ooh, close. Keys, what you got?
31-24 Bills.
Ooh. Oh,
They gotta get back to 30.
Yeah.
Being promised.
I want that too, man. Because they're like the 30 club, but I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go around where Aramis go. I'm gonna go 26-16. That should be they should win by 2 scores. I mean, they should, but will they? That's a whole. We'll see at halftime when I'm on here bitching. Hopefully not, but let's get to the last thing of the night, which is the Real Men of Genius. So we're getting out of here. I appreciate. Once again, where can they find you guys? Those that don't know your channel, which everyone here seems to know you guys, but let us know where they can find you.
Yeah, at Post Podium Pod on Twitter, the Post Podium Podcast on YouTube, and the Post Podium Podcast on Facebook is where we go live. We're on all social media platforms, so you can always direct message us. We are by no means at any kind of level where you have to be a follower in order to message us. I don't think.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure you could just message us, and we probably wouldn't turn that function on anyway because we don't like not being accessible to people. So don't be afraid to strike up a conversation or call us an idiot in direct messages.
Not me.
Not Key. Leave Keys alone.
I like to be objective. Let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? If we can get to the bottom of what your issue is with us, then maybe we can become friends. Who knows?
I mean, but those strong words hurt my feelings.
Good news. Sophia says show's getting a little bit better now. So,
because I was talking. Okay, Sophia, I see you. I see you. All right, it's Sophie. I'm gonna call her Sophie because I read wrong. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Oh my god. All right, let's get to the Real Men of Genius and we'll get out of here, man. We got some football to watch. All right, here we go.
All right.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Supermarket Produce Putter-Outer.
Mr. Supermarket Produce Putter-Outer.
You have perhaps the greatest job known to man, squeezing giant melons all day long.
Love those squishy melons.
When women come in looking for squash, you say, perhaps I can interest you in my giant zucchini.
That ain't no zucchini.
Day in and day out, women step on your grapes, and you don't even flinch.
Oh!
Is that a banana in your pocket? No, it's a plantain.
Muy grande.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh king of the kumquats, cause if one guy has to fondle our plums, we're glad it's you.
Mr. Supermarket Produce Putter-Outer.
Bud Light beer.
It's like one more, we're out of here.
What the hell was that? I stepped on.
Oh yeah. All right, last one. Let's get to it. Use this one.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Inspirational Poster Writer.
Mr. Inspirational Poster Writer.
Without you, how would we ever know that today, not tomorrow or last Thursday, is the first day of the rest of our lives?
Starting right now.
You ask us to take it one day at a time and remind us turkeys flock, but eagles soar alone.
Soaring high.
Only you could turn a picture of a kitten doing chin-ups into something more than cuddly. You make it inspiring.
Believe in yourself.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light-O, poet of the poster. You try very hard to make us try very, very hard.
Thank you.
Bud Light beer.
Oh, man.
Kids doing pull-ups.
Inspirational, man. Hang in there. Right, Keys? You got to hang in there, man. Sometimes you need that. You got those posters in your house, Keys?
Picture to come up when I'm hanging on a phone wire or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll just
You
wait.
know what? I just made. I know what my next image of you AI
Give me a little
hang in there.
Yeah.
Keys.
Put him on the side of the bridge that he's about to jump off of. Just hang in there. Just hang in there for your life.
It's all right. Bills are going to be all right, guys. Just hang in there. All right, guys. Hey, Bills Mafia, you guys are the best. Enjoy the game. We appreciate you guys kicking with us tonight. And we are out of here. Go Bills. Peace. I didn't hear go Bills, though.
Go Bills.
Oh,
There you go.
yes, sir.
Woo. All right, later.
Onward, upward.
Later, guys.
All right, later.
Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Going over here? Going over here now? Never get tired.